All right, do you know what? Last 15 minutes I've actually cheered up right loads. I'm a wonderful back and forward with a guy that's trying to lead a consortium to buy Manchester United. That's probably more interesting to talk about, isn't it? He's just got on Twitter and said, I wish that I would post all our text messages. So I have. And I think if anybody reads them and think that that man is equipped to become someone who either leads Manchester United's new consortium or is someone that somebody would want to get in bed with to do business with, look at the way he texts and look at the way he tweets. How is that man in charge of anything? All this started with was because on Thursday I had an issue with the sort of narrative that seemed to come out there with Michael Knighton was about to take over with over the football club, or was putting a bid together with a consortium, and I just had a few questions about it. It was pretty basic, to be honest. Like there was a few things I wanted to know. I've just tweeted them really. If you're interested and want to get in a mixer with it, I'll read them out for you. Here was my things that I had an issue with. One, if the consortium has the money and the pledges have been made available, which he's repeated that on Twitter tonight, why do you need Jim Ratcliffe? I think that's a very reasonable question. Number two, the use of the phrase hostile takeover was used incorrectly, and I find that quite worrying for someone who's trying to conduct a multi-billion-pound takeover. Number three, the record of his at Carlisle does not inspire confidence, nor does the fact that the Carlisle fans had to create some sort of a fans trust because they weren't happy with the representation that they had as fans doesn't bode well for how Manchester United fans may be treated if he was in charge of any sort of consortium. Some people are saying that the plan is actually just to take the club off the Glazers and then resell it. Is that not alarm bells for anybody if that's the case? And for going public with the fact that you want to buy the club or the consortium wants to put a bid in for the club appears to have raised the share price by 12%, literally making it harder to buy the club, ironically. And then phoning me up and threatening to sue me on the back of those quite legitimate and I believe sensible questions. So yeah, that's that. That's what I've been dealing with tonight. On top of Paddock lost 4-0 and then United lost 4-0. How much of a good day am I having? I'm getting sued and I've just been shagged 4-0 twice. Ooh yeah. Can't wait for what the fucking hell rest of Saturday's going to bring to us. Wow. Anthony with a super chat. We're going to need all of those tonight because it sounds like I've got a legal fund to start. Yes, we do need to stop the United versus Liverpool game on Monday. If you ain't charging, I am. It's happening, Steve, and we are going down. I think we could have a right laugh in the Championship, and I think we should just embrace it because it's about to happen, looking at this. There's another super chat there. I just want to grab that one. And I can't. Where's it gone? Cam says, got to drive down from Cornwall next week. What am I going to be watching? So fed up. How do we fix this? Our next game's Liverpool, ladies and gentlemen. How much of a fucking laugh is that going to be? Scott says, changing managers is like cutting off the head of a snake. As long as the Glazers remain, nothing will change. They have to go. I've just had a conversation with Rio, actually. You defo need to be checking that video out very soon because that was sensational telly. And Rio's got a lot to say that you need to hear. Seth says, do we need to protest every game until they sell? They're not at the game. They're not at the game. And so that means that they're not going to see the problems. They're not going to, you know what I mean? Oh, do you know what? The only good thing to come out today is it was 31 degrees in the dugout. So I've got a fucking really good tan. Need to moisturise and keep that shit locked in. Kina Tawawi says, if you offer me a 3-1 loss against Liverpool right now, I might take it. Hey, Arsenal fans, if you want to keep banging in your super chats, that's fine. I ain't fucking reading them, no. Brian says, Steve, remember back when we were excited about the season starting? Good times. Owen says, just want to be happy again. Is it too much to ask? I can't be asked, and it's game 2 of the season. Oh, fucking hell. Super chat there from Albert. Here you go. Thank you, mate. Zorro says John Murta should be sacked. BMW Racing says just read the messages. Yeah, let's do that. Andre says only one football man was in the club, Ragnick, and they got him off. Dan says we're absolutely struggling to stay in the Prem if this carries on. Darren says proper businessman who has the means to buy the club doesn't need the backing of fans to push the current owners out. You said it, my friend. Jim says I'm old enough to remember Knighton's keep you up his. That aged well. Yep. Someone's just tweeted me Howson 2, Knighton 0. I don't think it went as I don't think that went as well as he was thinking it was going to go, does it? And yeah, no, not Paddock as well. Yeah, we shit the bed and we lost 4-0 too. Peter Knight says, do I think Ten Hag should just walk away? I think we'd be in a lot more shit if he does. Braden says, Steve, tell me that it'll be okay in the end. It will be okay in the end. I just don't know when the end is. Why are we here? Says just no, only to suffer. Just wallow in it, lads. I'm so tempted to go and I'm so tempted to just go and get rummed out of my fucking box tonight. Adichie says Ralph was spot on when he said we need to throw out 10 players and get in 10 new. Yeah, and we got 3. James Clough says, how can a question be libelous? Knighton's a proper sausage. Here's a fiver to beat the case. Glazer's fucking out. Yeah, and here's the thing, right? I can see what people are trying to do. They're trying to turn this into, if you don't support anyone taking the club over, then you obviously support the Glazers. And it's simply not the case, is it? Don't support the Glazers. Never supported the Glazers. Probably never will support the Glazers. I don't know what they could do to make me support them, in all honesty, but I don't, and I probably won't. But that doesn't mean that you just allow anyone to take you over. My question would, other questions that I've got, I mean, he told me some stuff on the phone that I've not even revealed yet. I was going to hit him with it when he came on the show, but he's bottled it, so, you know, that's that, innit? Do you have the money to buy the club at the asking price? It's a yes or no question, innit, right? And if there even is an asking price, because if the Glazers just so we're not for sale, it doesn't matter if you bring 100 billion to the table. If they don't want to sell it, it's fucking game over. So can you pay the asking price or the perceived asking price? Can you pay the asking price and cover the debt? Because otherwise, if you're just paying the asking price and then you can't do fuck all about the debt, are we in a better position? Can you pay the asking price and cover the debt and renovate the stadium? Can you cover the asking price, cover the debt, renovate the stadium, and invest into the first team? If you can't start doing all of those different things, why are we better with this guy than those guys, necessarily? What if, or even worse, and I don't know if this is the case or not, but just hypothetical, what if they don't have the money, but they're intending to use overdrafts or loans, which means that we have been bought with debt for a second time? What if that's a reality? That's a horrifying thought if that would be the case. Yep. James Clough says, what's the point of getting out of the frying pan into the fire? Keep up the chin. Oh, keep up the chin. I'm fine. I am stone cold fine. And like I said, tell me what he thinks that I've said is libelous. I don't think anything I've said is libelous. Everything that I said was public domain, or straight from the horse's mouth of Martin Edwards, who interviewed on my channel 5 years ago. Zeppelin says, have I seen some of the nonsense idea that they're buying the club so they can sell it as they can't afford to run it? This is mental. Are they selling it for a loss? Are they going to lose money on the good of their hearts? Now, I would love it if there was a benevolent billionaire that was out there that was like, listen, I've just been told I'm terminal. Here's what I'm about to do. I'm going to buy Manchester United and give it back to the fans. We will build a statue out of tears for that man. But I don't know if that's the case. They're talking about giving 25% ownership into the fans. So does that mean that are the fans going to have to raise 25% of that? I've seen him tweeting that they're asking for no money for fans. So are they about to give 25% to Must or to the fans? These are questions that I think are well worth answering. And if they're libelous and slanderous and too much for you to handle, then you have got no place running this football club or being involved in a consortium that's trying to run this football club. You catch them what I'm throwing? BlackRock says, bottom of the league, season's over, Glazers out. Not even August. We're fucked. Angelina says, don't understand United anymore. We have become prey to every other team in the league. Facts. 1,000 flights need to be booked to Tampa. Dan United says, I'm able to tell my grandkids about seeing us get relegated, just like my granddad told me. My dad saw us get relegated. He said it was a fucking right laugh. DB Cooper. Hey, I just saw your documentary, my mate. A-State, good evening, brother. Love you, sir. Big fan of your work, too. The only man to ever get away with a skyjacking. Well played. Santa Notch says, how are you on Must's motives? I don't know anything about Must's motives. I don't. I have no idea about what they're planning or anything like that. Drove says, I am scared. What are you scared of? Jake says, gone. Steve says, mass walkout action, 17th minute, number of years the Glazers have owned the club. I've seen loads of things going on about the protest, but I don't know what the script is with them. Jordan says, we're getting pumped next week. That I agree with. Some of these comments you lot are typing in here are extremely libelous, and I'm not reading them out because I'm getting sued already. Hold me, Steve, says Steve. Ronaldo playing us to leave this summer has left us light in the forward positions. We were light anyway. Jimmy says Salah could win the Golden Boot next Monday alone. Do we have a sports psychologist? I don't know, actually. What do I think would make the Glazers actually pay attention and sell? I honestly don't know. I really don't know. I would have hoped that the fallout of the European Super League and the fact that they can't milk that would have had some sort of an impact. I'm not sure that's the case. If they've, like Barcelona have activated all these levers, which I think is a mad word for just saying commercial deals, but I like it, so I'm going to roll with it. If that was one of the Glazers' levers, European Super League, and the money that would have brought in on a long-term basis, then that might have been integral to their business plan. But when you think, like, I really don't understand them. I really don't understand them. For 17 years, you've owned this thing. You are paying an exorbitant amount of money to the banks in interest rates. From their perspective alone, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to clear the debt. How you've paid off 1 billion and still owe almost everything that you owed in 2005 is mental to me. And then when you go, all right, okay, so you guys still owe all of this much. They're taking out relatively small amounts of money. It's been as high as 100 million. It's often 20, 25 million a season. If you cash them out, we'll clear the debt, don't worry about that. There's 4 billion, fuck off, never come back. Then for me, that would be a sensational win for Manchester United. A sensational win for Manchester United and a sensational win for the Glazers. Because the Glazers have then just cashed in anywhere between 150 and 100 years, or whatever it would be, 150 and 40 years worth of dividends, and then they don't have the bad juju of everyone wishing that they'd fuck off and giving them shit all the time. I don't understand why you as businessmen wouldn't cash in your chips. You're riding high. You've got the chips stacked up like this. You're literally winning. Now fuck off and let everyone else play. That would do for me. You know what I'm saying? David says, they don't care, Steve, so they'll sell the club. The debt will be inherited by someone else. Mehul says, do I think the best way to unite the fans and protest actually have some meaning? I don't know. The protests in 2005 were biblical, and we still got bought. Should Ten Hag revert to counter-attack? No, I want Ten Hag to be who Ten Hag is, and I want us to play attractive football that works under him. I really want him to be successful. You know what I mean? Who failed us today, Ten Hag or the players? The players. The players. Daniel Kirk says, Malacia is the only one who looked remotely okay today. De Gea is taking the blame publicly. What was that one? At least I get to laugh with you and the paddock lads about how shit these cunts are. Yeah. Can't sit here and fucking rage at the players. Here's the thing, right? Some of the players aren't good enough. Raging at them, like truly raging at the players, is not going to get them any better. It's not. Right? Put your money and your rage on the owners. It all starts from the top down. Gary says, it's all over. God bless and good night. Malacia was good though. Love you, Steve, babe. Love you too. Santa Notch says, Areton Chapel, Holmes Chapel, proving to be the San Marino of the Cheshire League. Yeah, they're getting a dick in. We're not doing too much better, are we? Let's be honest. I mean, I could talk for days about that, but, you know, what's the fucking point? Give it all to the end of the season, says Jordan. Mehul says, I think the Glazers have made it evidently clear they don't want to sell because if they did, there would be a number of bidders like there was for Chelsea. Yeah, I genuinely think they would. I genuinely think there would be a queue of bidders. I don't believe the Knighton Consortium is the only option. I would love there to be more conversation about ownership of Manchester United. I think Jim Radcliffe is probably going to make some sort of a statement somewhere where he just sort of gives a PC answer almost a little bit, you know what I mean? He'd be an ideal person. Here's the thing, right? If Manchester United doesn't have to pay its debt, 100 million or so a year, and that money goes into infrastructure and players on top of what we already spend on infrastructure and players, we would be extremely competitive. Manchester United don't need a sugar daddy. Manchester United need to not have the weight of debt around our neck, because that is what hurts us. Listen, I'm going to wrap it up. I'll actually talk football with Jay over on Stretford Paddock. I need to go and eat something. I know I missed loads of super chats, but there was tons and tons of comments. Sorry. We'll probably do 5 things tomorrow. Lee says, what's the best sauce for a bacon sandwich? I'm a ketchup guy, right? And I know a lot of people look down the nose at that. You know what I'm saying? Fight me in a bit.